Well, New York is a step closer to becoming the first US city to ban supersized soft drinks. The city's health board has signalled strong support for billionaire Mayor Michael Bloomberg's proposal, although it won't formally approve the measure for another 90 days. The ban would apply to licensed food vendors such as restaurants and movie theatres. Nutritionists and obesity specialists have welcomed the move, but many New Yorkers feel it's a case of the government overstepping its role. North America correspondent Jane Cowan reports from New York.
New York City, where the living is fast, the people beautiful, and style almost in the bloodline. But the Big Apple is also a consumer mecca. Everywhere you look, bright lights entice you to eat, drink, and be American. On the Lower East Side, Katz's Deli is an institution, famous for its huge sandwiches.
You can't get too much of a good thing. That's why we need to fill you up, make you happy, make you leave nice and full. We do pastrami the old-fashioned way, corned beef the old-fashioned way.
Pastrami. I have pastrami.
When you add everything together, we go through roughly 25,000 pounds of meat every week.
In a city of more than 4,000 restaurants, more than half of the population is too big. Almost 6,000 New Yorkers a year are dying from obesity-related conditions.
Who do this?
Enter Mayor Michael Bloomberg and his ban on sweetened drinks larger than 16 ounces or half a litre.
People say, why should I care about this? I'm not overweight. Well, obesity costs New York City alone roughly $4 billion each year.
Reducing consumption of sugar-sweetened beverages is arguably among the single most important and potentially effective policies that can be pursued. These gargantuan portion sizes can contain a major portion of a day's total energy requirements.
The supersize ban affects everything from restaurants and movie theatres to sports stadiums and food carts. New Yorkers will still be able to get their fix in grocery and convenience stores or with refills. But with personal freedom hardwired into the American psyche, cue the howls of protest. And not just from the beverage industry.
Yes, I drink sodas all the time, you know what I mean, when I can. And I feel like soda's been around all our life, so why now ban it now? So it makes no sense to me, so I'm not happy with that's going on.
My wife, personally, she drinks 2 liters of soda every day, and she's very thin like you.
I don't think that any government official has the right to tell us what to eat or drink. I think they've overstepped their bounds. After all, this is the land of the free and the home of the brave, and people should be able to do what they want.
I'm going to do what I want to do, period.
How appropriate is it for government to be intervening like this? Is this a case of a nanny state?
The government has a responsibility to respond to a crisis, and we do have a crisis here.
Hi, I'm Mike Bloomberg, Mayor of New York City, or as we humbly call it, the greatest city on the face of the earth.
He is the richest politician in America.
Mayor Michael Bloomberg is a unique force in American politics, a billionaire insulated from the usual lobbyists by his personal fortune, and in the dying days of his third term, immune to the pressures of re-election. The drink ban is just the latest push in what has been a public health crusade for the mayor. He's already outlawed trans fats, barred smoking in many public spaces, and made fast food chains list calories on menus.
He would say, well, it's common sense. He said, it's just common sense. You don't, if you're going to smoke, you can kill yourself. And if you're going to keep eating too much food and drinking too much soda with a lot of sugar in it, he said, you can get diabetes. I don't think he sees it in terms of the way you and I and probably most Americans would see it in terms of the independence to do what you want in a democracy. I think he would say, you want to go kill yourself? We're not going to pay for it.
Obesity has become a national preoccupation. The First Lady, Michelle Obama's made child health her pet cause. Disney has just banned junk food advertising on its television network.
I think the tide is definitely turning, and we're seeing a lot of positive signs. We're talking about things as serious as taxes on sugared beverages or restricting portion sizes. So these are all signs that we're starting to take food seriously like we did 20 years ago with tobacco.
With powerful corporate interests at play and political gridlock in Washington, there's not necessarily any real prospect of a crackdown on supersized drinks nationally anytime soon. But in the midst of such strong consumer culture, Mayor Michael Bloomberg may well have succeeded if he just manages to make Americans think differently about what they eat and drink.
What nobody wants to see is heart attack becoming a pediatric condition. And unless we do something more about the epidemic, that's a frightening prospect.
But downsizing American appetites might take a while. Jane Cowan, Lateline.